entire introduction. Wait a minute.
Well, they'll know you here in a minute. So anyway, what I'm going to do is today's a chat. Okay, we're not here to high pressure sell anybody. We're simply here to share Shan's story for him to give all of you some insights that are in the real estate world, and then see if we have some common ground at the end. Fair enough? And we have guests that not only I've invited, but many of you have invited guests today. And so we'll be very careful and respectful at the end to make sure that you get hooked up with the right person. At the very end, your goal is to get back with the person who invited you, because every one of them have individual links. The reason I didn't send out any link at all is because you'd be cookied to one link. So we're going to wait and just do it at the end and just make sure you know who invited you, and we'll go from there. So Shannon, thank you. You just got back in town from an exciting EXP convention in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
And, I'll tell you, we got a lot of great real estate companies out there. EXP certainly is one of them. Keller Williams, RE/MAX, Coldwell Banker, Prudential. I don't want to leave anybody out. We love all of them. And if you're doing well and getting the help you should be getting where you're at, stay there and just do the best you can. But Shannon, let's back up and talk a little bit. You've been in real estate for 15 years and you've been coaching. And so talk a little bit about the coaching you do and you've done up until now.
Well, I mean, I do more of a specialty coaching. So there's a lot of different coaches out there. There's business coaches, there's life coaches, there's real estate coaches, and then there's real estate specialty coaches. And that's kind of what I focus on more. I mean, I've done what you would call regular real estate coaching many, many years. But I've found kind of a niche, if you will, in helping people with lead generation. And not just lead generation, but lead conversion, okay? Because at the end of the day, in real estate, here's the way it works, guys. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business, plain and simple, okay? People can tell me all day long, well, I'm at 100% company. That's great. 100% of nothing's still nothing, right? I mean, if you don't have leads coming in and you don't know how to convert those leads through various different forms. I mean, I've used different things such as handwriting note cards, giving away trips now, you name it, whatever it takes to make me stand out in the crowd, so to speak. And I've been very, very blessed that God has given me this platform, and that I don't know how everybody else feels. That's the way that I feel, that God has given me this platform that I can share openly about, hey, here's how you generate the leads. And there's a lot of places that will generate leads for you. I've had a lot of companies that I've worked for. They'll say, you know what, here's 10 leads this week. Great. What the heck do I do with them? Right? How do I convert them? The thing about it is I can draw in 300 leads in a month, no problem. But if I've not got something to hook them and to make them want to, A, give me correct information, right? Or B, take the next step, whatever that is, buying a home, selling a home, whatever it is, right? If I don't do that, then it doesn't matter how many leads that my company gives me, right?
And quite frankly, that's part of your branding. You've branded yourself. And I think the hardest part, I think anybody that's a realtor on here would agree, the hardest part about the business is, in fact, getting a steady flow of. Let me see. There we go. Please mute yourself as you come on. We got some latecomers. We welcome you. If you mute yourself. Come on. Joys of technology. Kelly Phillips, could you mute yourself, please? It won't let me mute you. And I think we're getting down from you.
We're going for a ride.
Yeah. Sarah, iPhone, and Kelly, for whatever reason, it's not letting me mute. There we go. And Sarah, if you would mute yourself, that would be awesome. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Just part of technology. So I think the hardest part of real estate is getting that steady flow of seller leads. Now, share with us what you were doing prior to 45 days ago about leads to listings, and share with us some of the technology things that you do.
Okay, sure. Let me share my screen here, guys. Okay. All right. So some of this is going to go around a couple of different programs. Okay. Let's go ahead and dive in right now to listings to leads. There's also KV Core. I don't know who all out there has Conversion or KV Core, but I can show you kind of what I was doing originally, and then I can show you what I'm currently doing. Okay. So KV Core is a program that we offer. I don't know who else has it. So I can't speak for everyone having this particular system. There's various other systems that are similar, Boomtown, Tiger Leads, some others. But KV Core allows you to go in and to build through their lead engine here, these squeeze pages, if you will. Okay. And so we're able to go in, we're able to start building the squeeze page. And so let's say if I'm focused on sellers, I just type in seller here. I'm just going to hashtag it. I would hashtag it as seller. Okay. Let's see, seller. And then I would hashtag, let's just say Lake Norman. Okay. Cause that's my area. If I can get it in here, let's see, Lake. Oh, my computer's moving a little slow, guys. I apologize. Probably a lot of people on here, so it does take a little bit more time. Okay, there we go. All right, and so here I'm going to put in my areas, which are Cornelius, right? Huntersville. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Cornelius, I thought I did that. Okay. Oh, shoot. Take. Come on, take. Okay, it's giving me a fit here. Let's see. Let's just try it for Cornelius for now. But again, all I'm going to do is I'm going to click generate link, and it would generate a link. Okay, and this is pretty much about what it would look like. So if I just paste it in, this is kind of the ad, so to speak, that KV Core would create, and I would use this to get to get seller leads. Now, there is another company out there called Listings to Leads. If you guys are familiar with it, I think they make a much better squeeze page. Now, that particular page there, if you do this for buyers, KV Core is fantastic for buyers, but I believe that Listings to Leads probably is the Lamborghini, if you will, of building landing pages to get sellers interested in your offer that you're offering. So guys, all of this is done through social media. Every bit of it. People say, do you pay for ad? Do you pay for, Zillow leads? Do you pay for this? No, I'm not paying for any of that. So I pay, a monthly fee for Listings to Leads, right? And I'm able to create unlimited amounts of these landing pages. So I created this one here, and we offer these vouchers, right? So we offer 5 days and 4 nights in Vegas or Orlando. We offer 7 days and 6 nights in Mexico, right? And so I'm able to give these out to clients, which is great. And so, with past clients and this, that, and the other, anniversaries and things like that. But really what we're here today to do is learn, how did I get 50 seller leads literally in less than a 10-day period pretty much. Okay, so right here, if we click on this right here, this is what I've built as far as the page goes. And again, in my coaching, I teach you how to do all this stuff. I teach you how to build this stuff. It's not that complicated.
I was going to say, Shannon, for someone who says, because the older a person gets, sometimes they get a little bit more technically challenged. How hard is the learning curve for any of the software you're using because I'm a huge fan of this one.
It's really not a huge learning curve. I mean, I've taught people Listings to Leads from what I call from soup to nuts, so to speak, right? I've taught them from beginning to the end, everything there is to know about Listings to Leads and utilizing it with video and things like that. And I'm able to do that in 1 month's worth of coaching.
Okay. All right. So this is what a sample page is. You've got your vacation offer in the background. Go ahead and keep where you were.
Right. So what I did is I just took a real nice picture of Vegas. I mean, that's a really just hopping picture that makes people think of Vegas, right? Here's the video. Now the videos are in the back office of TVI. So when you're a TVI member, you're going to have these videos already made up for you. I've had mine customized just a little bit. Everybody, I'm going to play this. I'll let you see what happens. It's not customized totally. It's not real hard to do, but here's what I did to it. So they've got the, what is your Lake Norman home worth now? Here's what they see. And so I just put my information at the end. That's all I did. Okay. So very simple. The videos are already done. You know, literally, if you sign up for TVI, you're immediately going to have access to all these videos. We've got them for Mexico. We've got them for Vegas. We've got them for pretty much everywhere we go. Okay, that we offer these certificates. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this squeeze page here that I built, and I'm going to put it out through various different channels, through Facebook, through Twitter, through LinkedIn. Now, you can go in one by one and put it into Facebook if you want to. That is one way to do it. Or you can use a program such as Hootsuite, or there's a few others out there that will allow you to be able to post to multiple social media channels at one time.
So Sharon, let me stop you there and ask you a question.
Yes.
So what you're talking about, you're not talking about any paid ads.
No.
You're just talking about putting it on your Instagram account, your Pinterest account, your Twitter account, your Facebook account, whatever social media you're on, you're putting the squeeze page on there, just like in your timeline.
Exactly.
Not boosting it. You're not doing anything.
No. So I put it on my Facebook. I put it on my personal Facebook. I put it on my business Facebook. I recommend that people join groups, right? Yard sale, trade sale groups, things like that. And again, you don't want to bombard these people. It's kind of like a next door thing. You don't want to bombard them, but you want to put something like this out there every once in a while, and people will take the bait. And really what you do is you say something like, very, very simple. It's not complicating. You're in your text line, you're going to put something to the effect of, home values are changing. Get your home value and receive a 4-day, 3-night vacation stay, your choice of Las Vegas or Orlando. All you have to do is inquire. No, I always put something like, no timeshare, something like that. So you want them to know that there's no catches, that literally you're offering this. And I have people who have told me, I've had a lot of agents who said, this is not legal. This is a RESPA violation, right? I keep hearing that over and over and over again. Guys, let me explain to you. This is not a RESPA violation. I'm going to tell you there's a couple of different reasons why it's not a RESPA violation. Number one is we're giving away a certificate. Okay, they have to pay the taxes and they have to pay the registration fee for the hotel. Like, for instance, if you stay in Las Vegas, I think it was $39 a night. Okay, so they have to pay that part. So they're financially absorbed into that. Okay, you have unlimited trips to give out. Okay, so if you are paying a certain amount, let's just throw it out there. Say you're paying $50 a month or $100 a month or whatever, and you're giving out 1,000 certificates. Well, you're paying less than a penny a piece for them. So that's not going to worry about your cap, so to speak, that people are worried about your cap, of how much you can do for RESPA. And thirdly, as far as a RESPA violation is you have to be soliciting for a listing contract or a buyer contract. This is not soliciting for either of those. This is simply saying, if you inquire, I don't care who you are. It's like Oprah. You win a car, you win a car, you win a car, right? So everyone that comes on and registers, period, is getting the trip. Now, here's where it would be a RESPA violation. If I were to say, in order to win a trip, put in your information, and if we list your home,
right,
then you get a trip. That is a RESPA violation.
So I get the question all the time, Shannon, what are some other ways for realtors to use it? Well, this is one of the most popular ways, is getting a value for your home. You may also put one out there, like most of you do, where would you like to receive the latest listings in your area, register to receive listings. A third way is to use it to help build your open house. Visit our open house and receive a 4-day, 3-night complimentary vacation voucher just for attending the open house. Again, these are unlimited. It's funny, we're just kind of simple folk here in Kansas City. We understand that with the word unlimited, it means unlimited. Folk in other states seem to have a problem with reading that, and they go, what is really, it's unlimited. We do have a question in the chat box. The question was, if I've only licensed in 1 or 2 states, and I send this out on Facebook, and 100 people respond in other states, guess what? You give them a certificate. Yep. Just for it's a goodwill generosity. And then if they're genuinely interested in real estate, would any of you on the call have trouble finding a realtor there to do a split commission with? I don't think so. I know about 15,000 realtors. Come through me. I'll be glad to assist you with that for a small fee, and we can help you find that. So don't worry about your limitations. We want to do it.
And for those of us, I don't know how many on the call are with EXP, but just for those of us that are, we have our inter-office on Facebook. You guys are familiar with, I'm sure.
Keller Williams does too. And
so we can literally go in, and if someone wants to be, like for San Diego, I put one out for San Diego not too long ago. I had people that were bidding. People said, I'll give you 20%, and I'll give you 25%, and I'll give you 30%, right?
That's good there. So let me ask you this, Shannon. You started doing this when you were able to start working with our company, Trip Valley Incentives. What did it look like before? I mean, obviously you had a fire, burning, embers going, but then you poured the gasoline of vacation vouchers, and you went from about 10 a month to 50 in a week or so. So what did it look like before?
Well, before it was very standard. A very standard ads. It was just like this that I was running right before. I was running buyer squeeze pages to get buyers over. And that was working. And don't get me wrong, I was getting 8 to 10, probably maybe not even that, maybe 5 to 10 a week, as far as seller leads go, which is still good, by the way. And again, that was just running them through Facebook. That was running them through, the groups, some of the yard sale groups, some of the next door places, some of that stuff. Right now, keep in mind, guys, this is so important. When you join these groups, or you join a Nextdoor or something like that, they have spam laws. You cannot literally. I know people that try to go in and post to these things, every day, multiple times a day. I'm telling you, they will shut your account down. Okay. So this is one of those things, you put it out there and you sit back for a week and you collect the leads, and then you wait a couple of weeks and you put it out there again. Okay. If you do it that way, it's a smart move. If you try to bombard them, just like Craigslist used to allow people literally to post every hour on the hour, and now you can only post so many times on Craigslist or they'll shut you down, right? Exact same concept.
Now, and here's the deal too. Sometimes, folks, you get in such a hurry and you do all these postings. Next thing you know, you have 100 people to talk to or to follow up with. So one of the pieces of advice that I coach on is, if you're going to do a big campaign on Monday, you better have Wednesday through Friday open. See what I mean? I had someone last Thursday do a campaign. Unbeknownst to them, they got 75 referrals in 24 hours. But they did it on Thursday. So then, it was time to follow up on Saturday. Well, it's the weekend. And then it's Sunday. And then by the time they got back to it on Monday, some of those were outdated. So you want to make sure, like Shannon does, I mean, he does a post and gets 50. Well, even with his buyer's agents, they were a little overwhelmed with, and how many realtors on this call or insurance agents or mortgage people would love to be overwhelmed? That doesn't happen very often. Shannon, just so they know you're totally legit and telling the truth, could we see your lead page of where the results come in?
Absolutely. Okay. So let me kind of explain the funnel process. So when they go to this page and they sign up, they're going to get an instant home value. This is powered by Zillow or some of those Trulia, those kind of places, right? So this is going to give them just a quick value. People say, oh gosh, it didn't give them the right value. Great. That's what we want. We don't want them to give them the right value because we want a reason to follow up with them, right? This is literally just someone raising their hand saying, hey, I might be interested in knowing the value of my home. By the way, I'd love to go to Vegas. Okay. So when they do that, I hear people tell me, gosh, it didn't give them the right value. That's okay. You need a system in place. I don't care who you use, but you need a system. And we use KV Core. That's really who I like. I think they do a fantastic job. So what happens is I have everything set up in the back office.
Hey, Shannon, we have a question in the chat box. Could we go back to the screen with the video, and could you put your name in and see what the next page looks like?
Right here?
Yeah, could you do that?
Yeah. Okay, so I have to put in my address. It auto-populates my address. Oh, sorry. It auto-populates my address. Get value estimate. Okay. And I think I've got just for this purpose, I've got the phone number turned off. But you can set it to where that the phone number is required. Okay. Yeah. So now it's going to ask me for my email address. Okay. I'll put in my email address. Okay. Don't everybody bombard my email at once. I need to sell soon, right? I want to freak myself out here and think I got a hot seller. Okay. And the best thing is this goes to my team too. So my team will be like, all right, a hot seller. Then they're going to look and goes, oh, never mind. It's him. So, but you can see here, it's going to give you a quick value. It's going to tell you what the square footage of the home, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the approximate value of the home, where it's located. It's going to give you the most recent comparables that have sold, what they've sold for. Okay. And then it gives your Zillow reviews, right? So it's a pretty neat system. But here's the cool part of it is I've got it already set up in here to where it's going to forward immediately over to KV Core. Okay. And so within, a matter of minutes, Listings to Leads is going to send it to Top Producer, which I've used for years, and KV Core. And KV Core is automatically going to set it up on a campaign, a seller campaign. It's going to know that it's a seller lead. So I click on my new leads. Now it's not showing up yet, but just to show you that this is real, guys, and that I'm not making stuff up and I'm not just, shooting the bull. Okay. I want you to look at these. Now, some of these are buyer leads. Don't get me wrong. We kind of, we mix it up. We do a lot of different buyer and seller lead generation campaigns. But if you look here, very few have not left information. Look at this. Seller a day ago, left information. Seller, that one did not. Seller, left information. Buyer, buyer, buyer. Seller, information, seller, information, seller, information. Buyer, seller, seller. Seller, 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 buyer, 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 buyer. If you notice, do you see a pattern here though, guys? Everybody that's coming in with a very few are leaving their phone numbers, their names, and their information. Why? Because they want the trip. If they don't leave the right information, they can't get the trip. Like this person here will never get the trip, because they gave me phony information. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, but if you look, there are a few that are going to not leave them, but look how many do leave their information. Guys, this is going on, it's crazy. And the leads just keep pouring in.
And you actually, correct me if I'm wrong, you haven't run that ad for probably a week, right?
No, it's been almost 2 weeks now.
And they're still coming in.
Remember, I was in Vegas last week.
Right, so I know you didn't run it then, because they didn't, and yes, to answer the question, they have to leave their information, at least an accurate email, because you email the certificates. So if they leave a bogus email, they're not going to get it. But now just getting an email, to me, is worth it to build your database. Shannon, you have a thought on that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's where, to me, when I just have an email address, that's where video comes in. Okay. People say, gosh, I don't have a phone number. I can't get in contact with them. I use a service like BombBomb. You can use whatever you want to, but I train on how to do this in my lead conversion stuff. And what I'll do is I will actually physically, I will physically, create a video. And so let's say this person, Lori here, let's say she didn't leave a telephone number. Well, I've got an email address. Hey, Lori, it's Shannon here with eXp Realty. I wanted to thank you so much for requesting the home value. We sent you some information. I'm not real sure that it was correct because it's kind of an automated thing. I haven't had a chance to actually see your property in person, but I would love to set a time to do that. As a matter of fact, it'd be a great time for us to go over the trip voucher. When's a good time for you? Feel free to give me a call back.
Wow, powerful. Because again, they want the vacation, and you have the leverage of not releasing it until you have what you want. And so that's incredible. We had a question in the chat, and I don't know if you do this, 2 questions. They're asking, what did the post actually look like? Did you have any written verbiage with that, or did you just put that landing page?
I just throw it together. I think I may have one here on my, if I didn't take it down. I don't leave them up. Okay, here's another thing I do too, guys. I don't leave a lot of posts up. People say, gosh, I went back and I tried to find your post. I take stuff like this down because I want to see how it works. Does that make sense, Timothy? So,
yeah, you're beta testing it.
Right, so I'm beta testing it. So I'll run it for 2 days and I'll take it down because then I want to know how many leads did I get out of those 2 days? What kind of quality leads did I get out of those 2 days? Okay, let me see if it's still in here. If it is, I'll show you one. If it's not, I apologize. But you can see these are the kind of buyer lead things that I'm doing right here. And if you click on that, it's just going to take you right over to my, again, doing the same concept. Without the vouchers, right? But these are just for the buyers. Okay, you can do them with the vouchers. There's videos that you can utilize, and I do those as well.
Like Shannon said, we have already produced probably 5 dozen videos. We've done it for all the major real estate companies, and if you work for a major brand, we will actually do personalized videos for a major brand. We're not going to do it for Charles and Company. We can do it for a small fee, but we can't do it. So we do it for the major brands of insurance and mortgage and real estate, and almost any home-based business. We already have videos done for some of them I never heard of before to do that. One of the other questions, I think, Shannon, I think I'll know your answer, but they're asking, have you been doing it long enough to look at conversions?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, I've been lead generating for a very, very long time, and doing it in mass quantities. And here's the thing: I can't tell you what the conversion of these ads are as far as people that have turned into actual sellers or actual buyers, but I can tell you this. The information that I got before, which was Mickey Mouse at mickeymouse.com or George W. Bush at georgewbush.com, right? That was the kind of stuff I was getting before. Now I'm getting a valid email address. I'm getting a valid phone number. And when I send that video, like I just showed you, I'm getting people responding back and saying, hey, Shannon, thanks so much for reaching out to me. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I'd love for you to come out and take a look at our house. As a matter of fact, we're going to go on a listing appointment tomorrow afternoon. Exact same concept. We're going to talk about the trip vouchers right then and there. I still haven't sent them their trip voucher yet because I'm going to wait till I meet with them. We're going to talk about it, figure out where they want to go.
So you have the power. The beauty of it is you have the power to send them to 50 U.S. cities, 3,500 locations around the world. And I'm like you. I'd like to find out where they'd like to go and see if I can meet that need. They may want to go to Ireland or Phuket or Bali, and I'd love to know that so that I send them on the right trip.
exactly.
Which makes it even more meaningful. If you would please, because I don't have all the screens in front of me, please go ahead and mute yourself if you're not muted already.
You wanted to see the ad? Here's one that I ran on Monday, and I just ran it for the night just to see what would happen. I ran it on Monday, which was actually my birthday. I thought I'll just throw it out there and see. And so Monday evening, I shut it off, and I'd received like 5 seller leads off of it, but it was. I just wanted to see, in short. I beta test these things. I want to see in short increments. How many leads am I getting? What kind of quality am I getting? People are asking conversion ratios. Well, you're not going to know your conversion ratios for a while until you've been doing it for a while. But what you will know is that the quality of the lead is going to be a lot better.
So, and the only difference between piss poor, excuse my language, leads before and a huge vacuum of missing information and what you're getting now was simply taking complimentary vacation vouchers and adding that to the plan. That's all you did.
Exactly. Yep.
Simple.
There's the videos. Now here's the thing. People say, people aren't commenting, people aren't liking. That's okay. I don't care if they comment or like. I don't care at all. What I want them to do is do this. That's it. Once they do that, they're hooked. They watch the video. They put in their address. It auto-populates for them. If nothing else, I get an email address and I shoot them a video. It's actually not rocket science, but you would not imagine, you would not believe the amount of people that just sit back and wait for leads to come in and think that it's automatically going to happen. And it's not, guys. You've got to have something appealing for people now. The days of people walking into a real estate office and saying, I want to buy a house, not so much anymore.
Because you operate out of your home, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I operate out of my home in my car.
Yeah, and you've got 50 leads in less than 8 days. And so what happens is, what I hear you saying is, you're really able now to manage the workflow of you and your team. So if 30 come in, you need to shut that thing off for a day or two.
Exactly.
But you have a beautiful feeling of knowing when we get the least sniff of being short on leads, we flip a button.
Right.
And how many realtors can really say they can flip a button and have leads? And certainly not paying for leads other than the vacation certificates. All right, let me see one more question down here. The question is this a KV core page or listings to lead squeeze page showing?
This is a listings to lead squeeze page. This is what the KV core squeeze page looks like. You can see a huge difference between the two.
The other one's a lot more sexy.
It is, isn't it? Thanks to our good friend Scott Pierce over at Listings to Leads. He's amazing.
Yeah, and for those of you that do not know Scott, I had the incredible privilege of meeting him about 10 days ago. The guy is simply brilliant, and I'm going to give him a plug. I would not be in real estate today without using the service. I mean, they gave me the full tour, and I was blown away to see what was on there. All right, we got a couple more questions, and then we're going to open it up here in a minute. Where do you post these? Swap and Shop, Garage Sale, personal page. So we did a lot of beta testing of our certificates. I'm kind of recognized as a national social media expert at writing great script to get leads. And we wrote one for an insurance agent that was in our beta test program. And we posted it in a Swap and Shop page in a city of 30,000. He got 220 leads in 24 hours and sold 43 insurance policies in the next 2 weeks off of one social media post, only using our vacation certificates as the incentive. And what happens is people are emotional about travel. Okay? Why? Because you create memories. Now, if you broke up with your wife or husband and got divorced on a vacation, don't hold that against us. I'm sure that happens from time to time.
As we show Vegas.
Especially in Vegas. And but if I were to say to you, what was your favorite vacation all time? Well, that memory would pop right up. And so, if you're on here, you probably know the stats. that only 2 out of 10 clients ever use a realtor a second time. Only 2. That means 8 out of every 10 buyers, unless you're a Brad Korn who has a 33 touch program, does 120 homes every year, and your follow-up is kind of sloppy. If I were a realtor, the number one way I would use these certificates would be on the 1-year anniversary of closing, anniversary 2, and every year on the anniversary, I would send them the 8-day, 7-night, 3,500 locations around the world. I would send that out every year on their anniversary. I can assure you, when it came time to buy or sell, you're going to have top of mind awareness if they just got back from Australia, thanks to you. Would you agree? I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. I think you can all. I'm not suggesting you do this, but this is something to add to what you're currently doing. But if I were doing nothing else, as far as wanting to be top of mind, I would use this program. So here's a question from Christopher. Christopher, will you send that to me offline? I'll be glad to answer it for you. Just about helping a particular industry use the certificates. Okay, Shannon, before we open it up for Q&A, is there anything else? I mean, this is mind-boggling, and I just want to congratulate you for your overwhelming success. Let's talk about one more thing. I don't care if you're with KW or EXP or you get paid by your broker. If you bring in a new realtor, how are you using these vacation vouchers as a recruiting tool?
I'm sorry?
How are you using the vouchers as a recruiting tool?
Okay, so again, I believe in personal relationships when it comes to any type of recruiting. Okay, when it comes to agent attraction, I don't even like to use the word recruiting. I think it's a negative connotation. But when I'm building my team, it's all about relationships, right? I don't believe in cold calling. I don't believe in doing any of that. So what I do, and I'll give you an example of a young lady that I was speaking with. She said, "Listen, I see that you're successful. I think it's a great company. I would love to sit down with you, but you know what? I'm really, really happy where I'm at." And I looked at her and I said, "You know what?" I said, "You just don't know what you don't know." And I said, "I know that you're a great agent. I know that you're a great producer." I said, "Do me a favor. Tell me, where's your favorite place to go?" And she said, "The Bahamas." And I said, "Okay, how about this?" I said, "Whether you come to work with me on my team or not," I said, "I'm going to send you for 3 days and 2 nights on a cruise to the Bahamas. You just give me 25 minutes to show you what I know you don't know, okay? And you know what you're saying no to. Give me 25 minutes to sit down with you." And she said, "Sure, I'll be there tomorrow morning." You know what I mean? And the great thing was I got to share Trip Valet. I got to share TVI with her, and she's interested in TVI. Now she's working on bringing her brokerage over into EXP. Why? Because she didn't know what she didn't know. And she was ready to shut me down, but I was able to utilize that certificate. Again, I was not using it. I did not say, "If you join me, you're going to go." She went.
If you give it 25 minutes.
Right.
So we have a question here. It says, what compliance pieces have to come into play with a licensed broker? Well, that's a great question. None that we know of, and to give you social proof, we have one family that owns the 7 or 8 KW offices in Kansas City. They brought KW to Kansas City about 15 years ago. Now they have a piece of every one of them, but their major one with 900 agents in it, the owner just signed up with TVI to use our product. And here's what he's going to do as a broker. He's having us come into the office in 2 weeks, do a presentation for 300 or 400 agents, and he's going to incentivize them to join TVI, Trip Valet Incentives. And what he's going to do is he's going to pay his commission. Now, we wanted to keep a 300 level foot view today, but if you come in and use the certificates, there's also an income opportunity for you to share with friends, and if they purchase it, you get a 40% commission of $38.80. So the broker is going to give his $38.80 back to his agents to offset their costs, He said, I'll make up all my money with the extra real estate. So that's what some progressive brokers are doing. And so if you own a brokerage, we'd be glad to do a private presentation. If it's big enough, we'll fly up and do it. And we'll do a presentation, make you look like a hero, and double the production of your team. So with that, Shannon, I'd like to go back. If you could give me screen back to our full screen. And here's what we'd like to do. Again, we've not talked money. We've not put any high pressure on. We've talked about a company called Trip Valet Incentive. So let me give you the 3-minute overview, and then we'll open the floor to questions. Here's the procedure of what we're going to do today if you want more information. Number one, go back to the person who invited you to this call. We want to protect, their integrity and our integrity with whoever invited you. And because of our cookie system, I started to send out a link where all of you could watch it before the call, but I realized you would have been cookied to the company, and we didn't want to do that. So we left it neutral to do that. If I invited you to the call and you're willing to watch a 6-minute video that gives you a great overview, I'm going to rely on you to send me a private message. I'm not chasing you, okay? We're growing too fast. I don't need to do that. Just send me a private message. Tim, send me the link and we'll send it to you. If someone else invited you, tell them to send you their link, all right? Please, because we have a bunch of people that had guests on here besides me today. But here's the simple program. Travel incentives have been around for 30 years, mainly used by major Fortune 500 companies. Amazon, eBay, Prudential, Keller Williams, Farmers Insurance. I could go on and on and on of the companies that actually use the same certificates you will have. I was with Farmers Insurance for 18 years. I won 25 trips during my 18-year career with them. And the same certificates that Amazon, small household name, are using are the same ones you get. All right. So these big companies would not risk their reputation on a program that did not work. Okay. Number one. Number two, the biggest concern we get is it's too good to be true. And wouldn't you love to be in a business where the only complaint was it's too good to be true? But see, I get to be Santa Claus every day. Cheyenne does, Shannon does, because when we give out vacations, it's like Santa Claus in August, and it's wonderful. But here's how we're able to do it. Large corporations, hotels, resorts, if you go by in your town today, go by the biggest hotel in your city tonight, about 8 or 9 o'clock, look at it. There'll be 200 windows facing the interstate, and there'll be 15 lights on. You know why? The rest of the rooms are empty. And on any given night, a hotel's at about 40% occupancy. So the hotels have said, if we can fill these extra rooms, Cindy might eat in our restaurant, might get a drink in the bar, might get a massage for the spa. And if we give Karen world-class service, every time they come to Kansas City, they'll stay in our hotel. So that's what the hotels are saying. So the hotels have said, we just need to cover the taxes on the room. What the maid costs to clean it the next morning. So here's the analogy that I share with you all today. If you, some of you I'm a lot older than I look, for the record. I turned 60 in July. I know I look amazing. No, don't throw it up. I'm just kidding. But here's, Botox is working. And so anyway, here's what, if you ever watch The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal, at the beginning, there's a thing that said if a contestant wins, they are responsible for the what? The taxes. So what your client, we never use the word free vacation. We slip sometimes and say it, but the minute you release the word free into the universe, you do funny things to your client's brain, okay? So we use the word complimentary vacation certificate or voucher. So what we say is, I'll give you the room and you take care of the taxes. Is that okay? And I've never yet had a client say, well, that's a ripoff. I've never had one. So normally the savings is 80 to 90%. And the beauty of our program, when we say unlimited, we have basically 10 different vacations. By the way, we're adding 5 more brand new Mexico locations next week. So we'll have, I think, now 15 trips. You can give every single one of our vouchers to your clients once a year. If we have 20 vouchers, you can give 20 per family. We have a competitor out there in the field. They allow you to give 2 lifetime, 1 international and 1 national. We allow you to give whatever we have every single year. That's why you can turn it into an anniversary program to do that. You can say, you know what, the closing process has been so stressful. Let me send you on a vacation. One of our realtors on Cheyenne, her husband owns a remodeling company. What they do is they say, hey, while we do the brief bathroom remodel, let us put you up in a hotel. So you have these certificates, and then you have an incredible travel portal. You have a full-blown travel business that we're giving to you extra, no extra charge for that travel business. It'll allow you in real time to compare the prices on a cruise, on a hotel, to all the major carriers, Priceline, Expedia, Travelocity, Trivago, all of those, and show you in real time what your savings are compared to any of the ones that advertise. Because ours is a private membership club. It's not a public site, so we're not even allowed to show you the rates in there. But when we show you the example online, when we do the full-blown presentation, which we do two a week, Sundays and Thursday nights, we do a live presentation. We show you the savings of $3,000 on a hotel stay in New York for 2 days. And so we give you that. Then finally, we do give you, there's an earning opportunity on the backside if you want to make some part-time money. And I read a quote yesterday from Warren Buffett. He said, if you don't have a business that pays you while you sleep, you will work until the day you die. And I don't know about you, but real estate does not pay you in your sleep. Last time I checked. You actually have to be involved. You can't, you can do, thank God you can do contract electronically now, and be on a beach and do a contract, but it's not residual income. And so the cost for the unlimited vouchers, we do weekly coaching. We have a Facebook group that is on fire, growing by 100 a day. The full travel portal, the opportunity to earn income, escape trips, reward points. We don't have time this is not our presentation. We want to show you how one realtor is using it and then invite you back for a second helping. We think that's fair, okay? But the cost is $97 a month, no long-term contract. You can cancel anytime, but we coach you how to make money with the certificate, okay? So we had a new member the other day message me, said, I booked a trip to Bangkok, my hotel room for 6 nights. I saved $400 off of any travel site in the world. You were $400 cheaper. So, for those of you that love to travel, we do have a travel portion. And by the way, I'm hosting a trip to Puerto Vallarta, December 7th through 11. It is 5 days, 4 nights, all inclusive, 5-star Fiesta Americana. It's only $6.99 a person. And so we'd love for you to come. We're doing some coaching during that trip. And if you come on board and become a Trip Valet member and you share it with 25 other people that buy before October 19th, your hotel is free for you and another person. You just have to get there on the airfare. That's a pretty good deal, $1,400 vacation just for selling a few memberships. All right, so with that, we want you, I'm not going to unmute everybody. I'd rather you unmute yourself. If you'd like to ask a question, state your name and where you're calling. Let me stop the recording first of all.
Okay, Timothy, I got